Please help to me reach 1,000 subscribers. I used to think marriages fell apart slowly, arguments, distance, misunderstandings. But mine? Mine cracked open with one single, polished sentence. It was an ordinary night. She sat at our kitchen counter, swirling wine like she was posing for a magazine, then looked at me with that calm, practiced expression. I think we should try an open marriage. She said it with such ease, such confidence, I almost laughed. I waited for her to smirk, to tell me it was sarcasm. But she didn't. She tilted her head and spoke as if she was educating me about some enlightened lifestyle. She called it maturity. She painted it as progressive, evolved, implying that if I disagreed, I wasn't. My heart thudded in my chest, but I forced myself to breathe evenly and answered, "If that's what you want, okay." Her satisfied little smile told me she thought she'd won. That I was harmless. That I was compliant. What she didn't realize was that she had just opened a door neither of us would ever be able to shut again. The days that followed told me everything I needed to know. Her phone stayed glued to her hand, always turned face down. Her meetings stretched far past business hours. There were scents on her that didn't belong to me. Marks on her skin she didn't bother to hide. Laughter that wasn't meant for me. And I said nothing. Let her believe she was the genius strategist and I was the clueless fool. Until the neighborhood barbecue. I overheard two women whispering, thinking I couldn't hear. She already had someone lined up before she asked him. She's vicious. Poor guy doesn't even know. That did it. In one instant, everything aligned. She wasn't looking for permission, she was looking for validation. She wanted me to accept what she'd already started. My blood ran cold, but I didn't let it show. I lifted my beer, grinned at the men around me, and made a quiet promise to myself. I would not be destroyed by her. I would not be the invisible husband she could walk over. She had chosen the game, so I decided to play too. The first crack in her perfect plan came from someone she never expected. Her best friend. Late one night, my phone buzzed. "I don't agree with what she's doing to you. You deserve better." I stared at that message, my wife sleeping beside me, reeking of someone else's cologne. After a long moment, I typed back, "Thank you." Her reply came instantly. "You're not imagining things. She's being selfish." Those words felt like a hand pulling me out of deep water. Soon, our conversations grew longer. She called, she listened, she reminded me I wasn't useless. And one evening, her voice softened and she whispered, "I care about you." That was the first time in months I felt alive. When we finally saw each other at a family dinner, the way she looked at me said everything neither of us dared speak. A few days later, she invited me over, just for company. We sat on her porch under warm lights, wine between us. When our hands touched, we didn't pull away. The first kiss was slow, uncertain. The second was hungry. And the guilt I felt didn't stop me. Because for once, someone actually saw me. But the truly dangerous spark came from even closer, her sister. She confronted me one afternoon after a family gathering. "People are talking about you and her best friend. Is it true?" I dodged the question, but she pushed harder. "Don't sink to my sister's level. You're worth more than that." The way she said more made something tighten in my chest. I saw something in her eyes, something she wasn't supposed to feel. A week later we found ourselves alone again, breath too close, tension too thick. Our lips collided, wild, reckless, burning. Her fingers clutched my shirt. My hands pulled her in. And in that moment I realized I had stepped into my wife's game fully, but not as her pawn. Then came the explosion. One night, when her sister and I were inches from each other again, my wife walked through the door. Her scream split the room. "Not him and you? My own sister?" Her face twisted with betrayal and fury. She stormed out, leaving chaos behind her. The aftermath was ugly. People whispered. Family pointed fingers. Her affair collapsed. Her confidence shattered. And she suddenly found herself alone, while the man she thought she could control stood surrounded by the very two women she trusted most. Her best friend, now firmly on my side, looked her in the eye and said, "You don't deserve him." Her sister, torn with guilt, still couldn't deny the connection we'd created. My wife had wanted an open marriage because she believed she'd come out on top. Instead, she found herself isolated and dethroned, betrayed by her own inner circle. One night she confronted me, shaking with anger. "Why aren't you jealous anymore? Why don't you care where I go?" I smiled calmly. "Isn't this the freedom you wanted?" And there it was, the flicker of fear in her eyes. She finally understood. She wasn't in control anymore. She wasn't the mastermind. She was just watching everything she built collapse. While she wandered alone, The nights she once gave to her secret lover turned into whispered conversations with her best friend. The afternoons she used to claim as me time became moments burned by her sister's forbidden touch. And then it hit me. She thought she would crush me. She thought I would crawl. Instead, she pushed me into the arms of the two people she trusted most, and they chose me over her. She authored her own downfall. And I stepped out of her little experiment not broken but awake. Not defeated but stronger. My wife wanted an open marriage. So I gave her one, just not the version she imagined. Because while she lost everything, I found something she never believed I'd hold again. My power. My desire. Myself. Please help to me reach 1,000 subscribers.